Sin Part 1. Not going to do any mods, just going to play it regular, see how it goes.
Look out! I see a... Careful now! That's a trap.
Perhaps I can detonate that explosive from a distance.
A whetstone.
A whetstone. Quite useful for a war-weary blade.
Alright, here we go. I am sure.
In the days of old, the sorcerers of Riverlong cured the sick and healed the wounded through a great power called Source. But a terrible darkness invaded the land, and Source was forever tainted. The sorcerers who once healed now only destroy, and madness has overtaken them. A few brave Source hunters are all that stand between Riverlon and the dark power that threatens to destroy it. Wherever Source appears, hunters follow.
Rise and shine, Master Source Hunters. The captain wants you up on deck. Hear them gulls? Means we're close to shore. I don't envy you going there, Master Source Hunters. City's full of undead, hungry enough for blood. But you're supposed to investigate that murder, ain't you? They say it's Source that did the Counselor in. Source in a city like Sicil, nowhere safe anymore. Here they are, Captain Sir.
God's blessings on you, hunters. You'll be happy to hear we've reached Sicil. But there's trouble offshore, so we'll have to sail in carefully. Here, have a look. Those are orc ships, and they're blocking our passage. We'll get you as close to the city as we can, and drop you off in the beach. Be wary now. Orcs are on the attack. Undead have closed every route out, and there's a sorcerer on the loose. If we're to get justice for the Counselor, you'll have to keep your wits about you. May the luck of the gods be with you both, Source Hunters.
Divinity Original Sin. I know I heard this is a really good game, but I heard the second one's even better. Said I could use the controller, and I can't figure out how.
If I didn't know there were orc ships raiding to the west, I'd mistake this for a placid beach.
At least the orcs make a bit of noise when they attack. It's dark-dealing sorcerers that'll strike with neither warning nor mercy.
Well, apparently I can't use the controller. I don't understand, but whatever. Keyboard's fine.
Is that a corpse? What's it doing here alone?
What? Did you expect it to have an entourage? Can you believe this? The man jumped off a cliff at the behest of some statues of all things. Agreed. Call me skeptical, but a little proof goes a long way for the rational mind.
Ah, fucking pragmatic. Jumped off. Oh, shit. Long fucking way. Onward, my red-headed friend. I will take you.
Source hunters! How did they find us?
Take the stone to the temple. These whelps will be easy to crush.
As you say, Madam Conduit.
Arise, fair dead! Seize upon our enemies!
Your grave opens to welcome you.
That was nice. Oh shit, I didn't know he was, I thought he was dead.
Their leader said something about escaping with a stone.
Stolen from this dungeon, I imagine. Can we get inside? Those thieves were more than petty criminals. Their leader gave life to the dead. What stone could they have been so keen on taking?
We can't well turn away from such an odious show of source. Let's investigate the tomb and see what answers it might reveal.
Indeed. For all we know, these dark-dealing thieves may be involved with Councillor Jake's murder.
Yes, they may. Okay.
This seems to be broken. 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 There must be some way to open this!
Oh, this game takes a little bit of getting used to.
Careful, there's a mine in the middle of our path.
Someone must have an interest in protecting whatever's kept here.
How do I rotate the fucking camera? The lead and end.
This seems to be broken.
I must not be strong enough. Very nice.
I've always heard there's typically more to a king's tomb than meets the eye.
It could be a myth, or it could be our lucky day.
Holy crap, do I need some water?
seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. Well, what's this I've spotted?
Right. Secret entrance.
Might need to blow this one open. We made short work of that door, but I don't imagine our weapons would survive such use for long.
Oh, so must wreck my weapons when I use it to wreck shit.
What's this? I found something.
movements of my mouse buttons on the side. It's pretty nice, left and right. Rotation.
What's this? I found something.
I've spotted something.
I think I hear voices downstairs.
The last thing we need is to surprise another angry summoner. Something isn't right here. It could be an ambush.
I run, they fall. I like this game. Eternal silence awaits you. This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. One man's trash is another man's trash.
Be right back, gotta let my dog go. I'm back. Back in black. Fucking starfish.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken.
A living rat dares disturb the slumber of the dead? A thieving fool insults the sanctity of the grave. The bloodstone defiler, where is it? Strange indeed. Robed indeed. Your tricks will not save you from retribution, deceiver. The bloodstone, deliver it now and I may deign to end you quickly. In life, I toiled to care for these holy grounds. In death, I protect them from profaners and poachers. The legacy of Cecile is mine to preserve. Her traitors are mine to destroy. I suppose you only crept among these sacred tombs for leisure. I suppose you had no lust for the treasure of the dead. Ha! Run if you like, Defiler. Whichever way you take leads you.
Charge of the champion!
Death never dies, fool. Death in 1,000 forms rules all.
No glory in this death.
You fucking died. Nice. Yeah, I made it.
Pass the ball, would you, Junior? Okay, this is a single malt, imported all the way from Hawkesbury, you know. It ain't the local pick. Hold it right there, Hawkscut.
Calm down, Junius.
Just hold your tongue, will you, Bibius? Can't be too careful. We're legionnaires, of course. On the lookout for orcs, for they've been attacking from the sea. God knows why they do it, but we stand firm. We of the Legion, liberators of Riverlon.
Liberators of liquor too, aren't we, old chum?
Shh! Just pipe down, will you, Bibby? Aye, a noble word for watchdog, that. For that is what we do. Watch over the local dogs that ever so often aim for one another's throat, and separate them to keep the peace. Separate by the sword, that is.
Best way to calm a wily dog is to neuter it. Ha! Spay for pay, Legion's motto.
Just put a sock in it, will you, Bibius?
Ever kept the watch? Stood on the lookout for hours on end, bored stiff. Boredom's a demon buddy, and booze is the demon hunter. There. I do. So, you're sorcerers, are you? And how are we supposed to verify that's true? We can't read, my friend. So for all we know, those papers say you're a polymorph parrot on the lookout for a 2-bedroom birdcage. They don't prove a thing.
You know what? We'll take you two to the wizard. I know he reads. He has books large as a house, that one. Yeah, he'll squeeze the truth out of you, one way or another.
wizard, you say? Sounds good to me. Lead the way.
Agreed. A wizard is bound to know more about what is going on around here.
Captain, come along. We're not far from the city. Lovely day for a swig and a song, isn't it? Fare thee well.
What the hell's happening down there? Orcs! Bloody hell! Come, let's go back to the bridge. Let the source hunters handle those big brutes.
something useful, like how to wash your underthings.
Stand down before I put you down!
I can defeat them all in a blow! Got you right where I want you.
Did
Where
you
are
see
Vivius
that?
and Junius?
Those
Didn't
orcs
they
had
hear
a
the fight?
human commander.
How very curious. And how very disquieting.
Bringing a little orchid girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house.
What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last mackerel.
What the fuck is this? I'm talking to a cat, baby.
Ah, but I see we've suffered another orc landing. And judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to one conclusion. You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm Ahu, at your service. It's so you were, and so you weren't. Behold! There we are. Meet my other half, Hunter.
Nice.
Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard rife with tricks and guile, but I assure you my plea is an earnest one.
Bringing your little orcish girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house.
Nonsense. Listen.
So, now that the cat is out of the bag, let us turn to the matter of Councillor Jake's murder. It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I'd bet sardines for salad you'll say the same. Captain Aureus, though, the local commander of the Legion, insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist he's blind to all but the undead. Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have a peek. So there are, or rather, there is. Popular opinion has it his wife did the deed, but to be frank, I have my doubts. She seems a likely candidate, to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yes, but I just don't see her magic extend beyond a frolicsome look and wink. Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your while to cross-examine her yourself. The Legion has her under guard in her shop near the town square. That's where you'll find poor Jake's widow.
She wouldn't hurt a fly, and I won't let you pass a horn on her head.
Bringing your little orcish girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house.
Nonsense. Listen. She's howling.
What fool would trust a two-bit love potion out of a back-page circular from youthful gore?
This place reeks of orc stench.
What is that skeptic like you can deny that she loves you?
An orc in love. When this little scarlet fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
Come now, enough shame and gloom. Cast the gaze you think upon my fair silent face.
Avert your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for all our sakes.
And I won't let you pass a horn on her head.
A human, you say? Truly? But that would be like a kitten leading a wolf pack. And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts, a shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers, but people will say that about anyone who behaves a bit strangely nowadays. I don't quite know what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It'd be foolish to dismiss such a curious event out of hand. Ah, the undead. They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years now.
Hello.
And for 2 years, the stalemate between them and the living has been dragging on at a weary pace indeed. The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but I think it's fair to say that without my magic-infused ballistae, they'd have gotten the better of us by now.
What is that skeptic like you can deny that she loves you?
An orc in love.
Someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, that searching for them is like searching for a single louse in a lion's mane. Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The orc siege is yet another hairball stuck in this city's already choking throat, and it shows no signs of abating.
So he keeps using all these cat references.
We've cordoned off the western beach where most orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives of me, I can't seem to figure what they're doing here.
Bringing your little orcish girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house.
Nonsense. Listen. She's howling.
What fool would trust a two-bit love potion out of a back-page circular from youthful gore?
What is that skeptic like you can deny that she loves you?
An orc in love. Ha! When this little Saturn fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
Come now, enough cream and cream. Just the upon my fair silent drink.
Avert your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for all our sakes.
She wouldn't hurt a fly, and I won't let you pass a horn on her head.
Bringing your little orchid girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house.
Nonsense. Listen. She's telling.
What fool would...
There's nothing of interest along... Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Such magic is a gift hunt, to be out in the night. To stalk on silent paws and hunt with only the moon as your witness. You couldn't possibly imagine the thrill. But of course, it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumbs. This I freely admit. Let's just say I have found a way to enjoy the best of two worlds. I'm glad we've met, Source Hunter. And I'm certain we have a lot more to talk about. Feel free to visit me whenever you want. I've set up a workshop in the Legion's headquarters. Once you're there, just take the stairs. But do pay a visit to Aureus first. He may bark like a beagle with its tail stuck in the door, but you won't get very far in your investigation without speaking to the de facto leader of Sicil. And with that, I bid you adieu, Hunter. Adieu and good luck. May your enemies prove to be mere mice, and you the dauntless mouser.
Sorcery, sects, undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus chap Ahu mentioned?
I like this. Nine-inch nails. You must have liked Nine-Inch Nails.
We'll have none of that. You hear?
Oh shit, I'm stealing.
Blasted orcs have learned how to play with fire. We're gonna need more than a few buckets.
What if the orcs are sending another fleet?
Fuck you, sneak robot.
Sail, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels. We need more help or she's lost. Come on then, watch your back, you do it. Steady boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
Come on, Ben! Put your backs into it!
Blasted orcs have learned how to play with fire. We need more help. She's lost.
What if the orcs are sending another fleet?
Size sail, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels.
Blasted orcs have learned how to play with fire. The ship's blazing ever higher.
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up. We're gonna need more than a few buckets to save her.
The ship's blazing ever higher.
Ship's blazing ever higher. Size sail, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels. We're gonna need more than a few buckets to save her.
We need our help or she's lost.
Another ship sent to an early grave in the harbours of Sicil. She was targeted by the Orc shaman during the attack. Another ship sent to an early grave in the harbours of Sicil. A terrible sight, that. Size sail, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my legs.
Halt! These gates are to remain closed at all times. Cap will now be a little red imp's uncle, the Source Hunter. Sorry for the gruff treatment. I didn't recognize you right away. Please tell me, how can I aid the investigation? You can see security's tighter than ever around here since that surprise attack the Orcs put on a fortnight ago. They did enough damage to shake up Ahu and Captain Aureus something fierce. We can only hope to hold back the undead and these left-field Orc attacks long enough for reinforcements to arrive. I don't think you're quite ready to head out into the wilds to me. Also, a party of 1 or 2 runs the risk of being outflanked and outnumbered. I'll bring some backup if I were you. Of course, the choice is yours, but are you sure you want to venture out?
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage. Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks. Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks. Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks. Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage. Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage. Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage. Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks. Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks. even smell the sea air over this rock. Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks. Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage. I can't even smell the sea air over this rock. I can't even smell the sea air over this rock. I can't even smell the sea air over this rock.
Thank you for heeding my words of warning, Hunter. Scythiel needs you alive and well.
I can't even smell the sea air over this rock. Slimy, reeking. I swear I can hear that bleeding cheese merchant from here. Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
Well, a source hunter. A very hearty welcome to our humble warehouse. Have a look around. And don't mind if I pick your brain about the scoop around Undervale. I'm behind on my... I tell you, this gig sure beats getting my toes bitten off by zombies out in the field. We warehouse guards don't have to do much apart from stroll the perimeter a few times an hour.
This place reeks of orc stench. This place reeks of orc stench.
Why
One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all. One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all. This place reeks of orc stench. This place reeks of orc stench. One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all. One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all. This place reeks of orc stench. This place reeks of orc stench. This place reeks of orc stench.
And of course, every now and again, some friendly folks, like yourself, will wander through here. And nothing beats a pleasant conversation, though my comrade Horatius has quite different opinions on that matter. Have you talked to him? Thinks every man, woman and child who steps foot in this place wants to rob it blind. If I so much as greet a townsperson with a hello instead of a state your purpose, he starts frothing on and on about godly duty and security breaches. This Jake business is quite the scandal, no? I myself suspect his wife, Esmeralda, and the butcher seconds that, let me tell you. Then again, and you didn't hear this from me, he's going through quite the nasty divorce himself, and there's his children to consider.
Nice, his children.
But I imagine his youngest, Kimberly, won't mind. Never did get on well with her mother ever since the incident. Oh, it's an unparalleled pleasure having a fresh ear around.
My guy told me a whole bunch of...
Report? Still nothing, sir. Suppose there just aren't any thieves around.
If there were no thieves, why would we be guarding this place? Think!
Makes sense, sir.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Curtius, proud this is a storing house for Legion supplies. Perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and others' estimation. And I, Sergeant Curtius, have been Curtius is my name, the Legion is my calling.
Whoa, a source hunter! About time the...
She wouldn't hurt a fly, and I won't let you hurt a horn on her head.
Oh!
Ah, who better than a proven orc crusher to convince...
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely docile. But my prejudiced friend here, my friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish lady? For a brief second, as perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword, and a vial of love potion shattered over her head. And when she turned to face me, she became instantly... I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner would never willingly join up with those vicious marauders.
Ha! I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll rip to shreds?
Ah, I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read in an esteemed periodical from the Wizards of Youthful Gore about an amazing opportunity that could change my life, I had to act. I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a limited time only.
You see what a fool my friend has been. Spending all his cash on snake oil and bringing a temporarily tranquilized monster.
What kind of monster would lie in a published advertisement? I'm sure the effects of the potion will be...
You see? He'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. Please tell me you can reason with him, or ditch reason and use your sword to save him from his murderous darling.
You're right. The information she provides could well turn the tides here in Sicile.
Bravo!
You're going to regret...
Well, what does it matter? Daylight was more suited to my...
Bringing your little orcish girlfriend here is like bringing a wolf to a hen house.
Nonsense! Listen! She's purring.
No! What fool would trust a 2-bit love potion out of a back-page circular from Youthful Gore?
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
I can't even smell the sea air.
Curse them rotten greenskins. Ate me parrot, Polly, feathers and all.
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
Now this is valuable.
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another soul flying to his death? Sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an undertaker. Especially not these days, with so many laid low by the orcs and such like. I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can finally get a little peace. What about it? Didn't I just say we gave it a respectable send-off? Why are you giving me the third degree? Now, if you don't mind, I'm trying to run a business here.
I can't even smell the sea.
Sigh, seal, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels.
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I, borrowed one of these fish, would you?
Borrow, indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Ain't true. Arrows by the dozens.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear!
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish. Yours for a scrap of gold each.
Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough, prosperous enough, before these lean times around Sicil began. Still, that doesn't waive a man's need to eat, you know.
Come on, you chickens!
On the move for cheese. That excuse is more home than a slice of this fine almond bread.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish. Yours for a scrap of gold each.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses. On the move for cheese. That excuse is more home than a slice of this fine almond bread.
Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times. But what choice have I got now? If it's steal or starve, I'll choose steal.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
So what do you think? Should I snag...
Sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish. Yours for a scrap of gold.
Everyone needs a hand now and then. Take the fish, and none but us will be the wiser.
True enough. With that...
That's the spirit!
Sir, did you just steal that fish?
No, I paid for it.
You were a witness to...
This man is telling the truth. He...
Quite so.
I can't thank you enough for your...
Well, sorry to have bothered you then, sir.
Damn, I told a lie and fed a man.
That thief is free for now. But I wonder how long it'll be until his growling belly seduces him back onto the crooked path. I can understand your sympathy for that man, but feeding him for one day will hardly remedy his circumstances. You would have done better to help him more substantially than by covering up a single petty theft.
Could have probably helped him. Yes.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese.
Sorry, but I haven't the time for chatter. These days, a moment's inattention is all a thief needs to snatch my livelihood out from under me. Ain't straight, ain't true. Arrows by the dozens.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Feed a big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Goldenberg.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Pay the big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Goldenberg.
Aim straight, aim true. Harry's by the dozens.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Not in the mood for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Goldenberg.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Join the Spud Club if you got an eye for farm potatoes.
Pay the big cheese
This
on your
town
block.
has seen better days, but despite it all, we'll always have the sea.
Ours from the sea.
Red and orange.
What are ye staring at? Captain Jack's the name, though the title may be a little... Those scallywags heard there be silver in the Lacula mines, and they abandoned ship like the lily-livered turkeys they are.
Here for your daily serving of veggies. Please partake of the plumpest produce ever produced.
Well, hello there.
Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only ours from the sea.
Toe of snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Ooh, fucking potion.
Ah, gracious patron, I see your tired eyes looking a bit teary. I've just the potion for that. Or would you prefer a toasty fire spell to dry those vapours?
The finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens!
Quiet day on the market, it seems. tomatoes.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
A good day to you.
Let us see if you can choose the finest greens.
Feed a big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Not in the mood for cheese. Their excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine Corbin land.
A good day to you.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Feed a big cheese on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Well, hello there.
Source hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. Things is chaos. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like me dear plump Ogget, the finest in me herd. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Now that the herd's gone, old Birch is just scratching by like a yes. Oh, Ogget's been missing from...
Solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
My word!
You there! You look like an actor
Can you
just
spare
waiting for
a
his
coin?
big debut.
Move along.
Legion's greetings. I have been informed about your heroics on the beach. Were that I had been there to partake in the battle. But my duties lie here, sworn as I am to protect Lady Esmeralda from the rabble that would enforce I am Septimus, 7th son in a household of 9, legionnaires all. Me and 2 brothers of mine were assigned to Sicile from day 1. Alas, both of them have long since fallen in battle against the dead. But never shall I lose heart. Long as a single legionnaire stands, all of us remain undefeated in the eyes of the gods. So fair a lady I have seldom seen in all of Rivellon, my friend. And I have traveled more extensively than migratory birds do. She stands accused of murder, but in my mind, her presumed guilt is a fallacy, and indeed a fabrication. Steadfast will I guard her. Never will I waver unless absolute proof of her culpability should be brought before me. And I hold no such proof exists. Jake's murder is, in a word, a tragedy. He was well loved in all of Sicile. The Council of 7 couldn't have wished for a better ambassador. That he of all people should have braved the undead siege for so long, only to be felled by foul sorcery, is heartrending. And what questions are those? The Sicilians used to say this was a chosen place, favored by the higher powers. But they don't talk like that much these days. Hard to feel favored with such horrors haunting every border, I imagine. I remember waking up with a head full of hammers 2 years ago. The drill sergeant barking away, "Up you get, lads, we sail for Sicile. Them's in need of the Legion over there." They certainly were, and they are still. Only, we cannot grant them victory. For I have yet to see the mortal soul that can put those undead bastards to rest once and for all.
Lords above, grant me patience. You're a source hunter, aren't you? Here because you think I killed my husband. How many times do I need to state and restate my complete innocence in the matter?
Alright. Part 1. Thanks for watching.
Assure me, dear Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful